Today is Sunday. Sunday is fly day. Like the best day to fly. Because everything's closed and everyone can join, and usually I'm running a little late. Haven't finished fixing the drones, I've got work I gotta take care of, but today, not the case. Today I'm ready to go and everyone else is late. I suppose I could take this opportunity to be a little bit productive and you and I could chit chat about my rates. Rates are what defines how fast your drone rotates about each axis. So there's a pitch rate, a roll rate, and a yaw rate. So the rate defines how stick movement translates into quadcopter response. The rate systems in most flight controllers nowadays have different methods that let you curve the rate. Like Betaflight uses something called super rate. So there's two rates where your RC rate defines a linear relationship between stick input and drone response, and then the super rate bumps up the high stick input response, and that gives you a smooth curve. And why you would want that is so that the stick movement around the center is softer or less responsive, so when you're trying to just make small adjustments, you're not overshooting all over the place. But then when you want to flip and you go further, closer to the end of the stick travel, you're like, whoop-ow. So anyways, batteries are done. For most of you, I think that was like old news. You guys are probably familiar with rates. It's one of the first things that you should learn. I think it's more important to tune rates than your PID controller nowadays. And I've been meaning to make a video where I tune a drone, where I do PID tuning from start to finish, because I was making a few PID related videos. I'll link them, but I never actually did a start to finish tuning, and I still want to. But let's talk about this first. People usually ask me about my rates because I tend to flip and roll a lot slower than most other pilots, and people wonder, do you have low rates? Yeah, I do. You don't necessarily need to have low rates to fly smooth or do slower flips. Schizo is like the exact opposite of me. Even though he and I fly somewhat similar, he uses really high rates and just doesn't move the sticks that much at all, whereas I like to move the stick more, so I use lower rates. So here's how I set up my rates. As you can see, the roll is the fastest axis, the pitch is the second fastest axis, and yaw is pretty slow. I mean, you can see in the max velocity column, which shows the max degrees per second, which is like when you're at full stick deflection, how fast is the copter spinning. Yaw is a lot slower than the rest because you really don't often just bang yaw, at least I don't. Similarly, I tend, with my style, not to do fast flips. I find it disorienting, and I personally don't find it aesthetically pleasing, because essentially you completely lose sight of your subject, because when you flip, I mean, the whole horizon goes away. You might be looking at the sky for a second, and it's much more disorienting. A roll I like to still see pretty fast because you still see that horizon move around, so it's not quite as, you don't lose yourself quite as much, if that makes sense. Those rates probably could stand to come up. I might want to raise the super rate so I could have more maximum spinitude, because I mean, yeah, there are some tricks that I can't do certain ways because, or it's harder for me to, because I can't actually flip it fast enough. So I mean, if I want to do one of those things where I flip back and look at the obstacle like falling away and backwards from it or something like that, because I flip so slowly, I'll shave off some of my speed with that pitch, so I can't carry as much momentum as I would like sometimes. But I don't know, I guess I wouldn't necessarily complain about how it is now. I just maybe want a little bit more. So it's something I might play with, but overall I'm really happy with my rates, so I haven't played with them too much. Another unique thing you'll notice is that with the roll and pitch axes, my RC rate is lower and my super rate is higher, and that gives me like soft response in the center that then slopes up toward the higher stick travel area. Whereas with yaw, I use a very high RC rate and not much super rate at all. and that's because I don't really want there to be that exponential behavior on yaw. I like yaw to be a little bit more linear. It's just, for me, that's more predictable with yaw, because like, again, it's not like with pitch where I might want to go like whoosh or roll or something like that. Yaw you kind of use as a mix. So my personal preference is I like a good linear relationship between yaw stick travel and yaw copter response, whereas with roll and pitch I like there to be that exponential relationship. So it's soft in the center and then snappy toward the ends. Technically, I don't use any RC Expo. You can add a little bit. There's nothing wrong with using Expo, but I get enough of an exponential relationship out of the Super Rate system the way I have it set up. I think that's all I have to say about rates. How long have I been rambling? I've been rambling for a while. I still haven't heard from my friends yet, so I still have to wait a little bit before we can go flying. But I'm glad we talked about this, and I hope that I get to go flying soon. Yeah, about time you got here. Who's the late one now? Who's the late one now?
Yeah, 1 out of 20.
Oh, it's true though. It's definitely true. Is that Jeff? Did we beat you? Look at this. Look at this. Oh. Oh, this is pretty easy. Oh boy, don't die. Yeah, honestly, I'm not seeing anything that's like, that I love. I know I sound like a spoiled brat with our spots because we have so many that we get to be picky. Man. I don't know. Okay, now look at that. I hate it. I hate that shit. Nope. I'm hiding. I hate that.
I did up instead of down.
I've never seen one crash. I've never seen something
I've never
like
seen
that.
one fly, let alone see one crash.
Oh yeah, no, they don't normally crash. Do you mind if this goes on the internet?
I don't care. It's supposed to sometimes go up instead of down. Breaking the frame.
So I'm not doing anything because Jeff's been crashing. That just happened. I got a couple like take it easy flights in. I think we're gonna on to the next. This is not What do you think? Yeah.
When they get out of the car, right?
Yeah, you have to pull out the camera as soon as you get out of the car. Yeah, where's your camera? Oh my God, Pete! Oh God, I got hit by. Oh.
Man, that looked really realistic.
This skid record right here. gosh, I love this spot. This is like one of my new favorite spots. I've been needing a session like this for a while where it's just like, great, what? Look at this guy, look at this guy. I've been needing a session like this for a while though, where it's like just a long time at one spot, hanging out with people, just like flying hard, having a good time, trying new things, and it's like all just like one area, but it's still so much fun.
Ah!
Oh!
Don't cross the street!
Oh, God! Is this not the best spot ever? I mean, I love this spot.
Yeah, yours looks better. What do you got going on?
So today's video topic was actually about setting up rates. So I did a little spiel this morning about how I set my rates. Do you have any tips you'd like to share?
On rates. What are you talking about?
Well,
go click right on my video.
Link in the description to Jeffrey's video. God, I just got link bombed. Fuck.